I think you can equate to her experience. So anyway, without further ado, Nekia Nichelle.
Thank you. So like Bill was telling you guys, and I was just telling you guys, I was just like you. Like I was sitting here last year, I remember it vividly, and had orientation. And before I came to school though, I had a mission. In my mind, I had a mission. The way I started in what I do and in the industry, I actually, in 2007, I just woke up one day and I'm like, you know what? I want to do something in the industry and I want to be respected. I'm a woman, so it's a little bit harder for us ladies to be looked at instead of a sexual object, but someone that's intelligent, knows what they want, and goes after it. So I had found a friend, and through a friend, I found someone that knew production. I didn't know anything about video, editing, anything. I just knew I wanted to interview celebrities. I wanted a show. That's all I knew. So I found this other, who is now my former business partner. She graduated from Columbia, and we just laid out the paperwork, everything. Like we just made sure we did everything to go forth and being able to interview people. So being on time, being, being there when you say you're gonna be there, it was all part of it. We started with small little events, and our first celebrity interview was Nelly. And he was doing like a charity softball event. So we had the whole St. Lunatics, some other, at that time, Jennifer Hudson's husband now, David Otunga, was not that big. He was still doing the I Love New York show. So he was there. And so we had a lineup of interviews to do just out of nowhere. So after that, I was in charge of booking celebrities, and she was just in charge of the production side of everything. And after that came more interviews, then Queen Latifah, then, Robin Thicke, then Newt Gingrich, who is a politician but was writing a book, then more and more, what's his name, Trey Songz, just an abundance of people. So her and I split after 4 years. I wanted to do my own thing, and I didn't know. I was stuck. I'm like, man, I'm so used to having a partner and doing this with someone. What do I do from here? What talents do I have? What can I offer a company? So I decided I want to go back to school. I didn't want to go to Columbia and spend $50,000, and I already had experience in the field, so I thought it should be a pretty easy transition. I mean, I've met publicists and managements of, celebrities, so I should be able to do this pretty easily. But I didn't know anything about radio. TV was my baby, it's still my baby, but I didn't know about radio, and I knew, I saw some things with Beyonce Fox. I met Beyonce Fox along the way. I met a lot of people in the industry along the way, and I saw something for ICB. I think I was like looking up Windy City Underground, and I saw Beyonce Fox was the program director for it, and then I saw Illinois Center for Broadcasting. I'm like, what's that? And then I found the school. So I came here, and my goal and mission here was, before I leave this place, I'm getting a job. There's no point of me being here and jobless when I started. And well, I could have had a job, but I wanted a job in the industry where it says, my check says Clear Channel Broadcasting. And I was determined. I didn't even do, and I'm not encouraging this, so when I say this, please do not say, I'm not gonna do an internship, but I didn't want to do one. I felt like I had too much experience to offer, and either I'm getting paid or that's it. So we're gonna have to figure something out. So the whole time I was here, I'm not trying to make friends. I wasn't antisocial, but I wasn't here to make friends and cliques and, be late and do whatever I want to, like free lunch and just eat and giggle and play around. It's like, what's the point? I'm spending money, and at the end, if I'm broke starting, why would I want to be broke ending? It doesn't make sense to me. So while I was here, I worked with even some instructors. Kes was my instructor. Gina Ferraro, and I don't know if you guys got to meet her, but J.R. Strauss was my instructor, and he believed in me. He's like, look, I know you could do this. I wasn't used to anything in radio, anything, nothing. So I decided, all right, if my voice is, I guess, good enough, they think it is in radio, I guess I'll give it a try, even though I really want to do TV, but okay. But there's been teachers here that believed in me along the way, that really helped me, and I thank and will continue to thank every day for that, and they're still trying to help me. But I got an opportunity while I was here to go on air at WVON. David Martin was a graduate here as well, and he met him while I was out and about before this whole ICB experience, and we exchanged information. I remember Bill talking about David Martin as a graduate and how he's on air at WVON, and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy looks familiar. So while I was out, I exchanged information with him, and he remembered me. And when it was time, when it was in a crunch and they needed someone to come fill in, David said, you know, I know this girl, she's amazing, why don't we give her a try? Never been on radio live like that in my life, where I was doing weather, news, and traffic updates at the top and bottom of the hour. And I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous as all out. So there was not a moment that I'm like, is this something that I really want to do? I mean, radio is not easy. As much as you think you could go in there and like, yeah, this is the da-da-da-da show, it's not easy. Everything is time, and if you're not on time, it's like, what's the point? You can't have dead air, you can't do any of those things. So I got to, while I was here, even though I had experience with interviewing, once I parted from my business partner, I started my own blog. So I got to interview Brandy, Tamia, I forget guys, so Tyrese, Rev Run, a couple of people. So that helped, and it was getting close to graduation, and I was under the grind, and I'm like, all right, here's the deal. Everybody's messing around. I had my demo reel done probably, what would you say, Cass? I don't remember, like probably what, 4 months into me being here, I was done with my demo reel. My resume, I already had it before I even came here. So I just needed to tweak it and make it a little bit more, pop it out a little bit. What else? So by the time graduation came, it was just kind of like easy breezy, just sending resumes out. That's all I was doing. And Gina Ferraro, who was my Radio 1 teacher, said, hey, I know you're good. You've been coming to school consistently. I trust you enough to recommend you. There's an opening at my job. Give me your resume, I'll pass it along to my boss. And that's exactly what she did. And I went in and I killed the interview and I got the job. And I was working before I graduated. So I was trying to juggle school and work. And then I didn't have to have an internship, and I had hours because events I go to, blogs that I write, that's all part of hours. I didn't have to really, like, I don't want to make it seem like it was easy, but I dedicated all my time to being here and making sure I take care of business. So I've made mistakes along the way. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not perfect, you know. I've made some really crappy decisions, but I think all in all, there's 3 P's that I live by. It's perception, presentation, and the power of networking. If you can't network, if you can't get out there, open your mouth, it's like, what's the point? I've talked to so many people and gotten out there, and sometimes people remember me, sometimes they don't. Perception is everything. The perception of, if you see someone driving around with a $100,000 car, you think they have money, right? That car could be borrowed from their friend. It could be their mom's car. You don't know. But perception, and that's all the entertainment. I'm going for entertainment, but sports is part of entertainment. All of this, it all coincides. So your perception of how people perceive you is what sometimes gets you in the door. People think, you look like you should be on E! News. Well, that's what the hell I want to do. So great, I'm giving you the exact perception of what it is. In your presentation, and this has to do with my mother and how she raised me. I was not allowed to leave the house at all. Hair had to be laid. If I left the house, and my mom was a manicurist at the time, with my nails chipped, there was a problem. Let me leave the house in pajamas. If I was not a human Barbie doll, and she didn't I don't want to make it seem like she, whooped me for it, but she's very, she is almost OCD, so she's borderline OCD, so it's just like, she made sure I was packaged very well. I spoke very well. I'm poised. Lift your head up. Always look. Don't look down. Look up. Be proud of yourself. There is also a stigma with, darker complexion females. Don't let that get you down. That has nothing to do with what you can offer mentally. Be smart. Go to school. All of those things. So I was already well prepared. And when you go in, they look at you from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. So that is very important. Presentation is very important to me. That's how I got my interview with Queen Latifah. Everybody came in dressed in jeans, dirty, looked like they just rolled out of bed. Me and my business partner had on gowns. We looked like people were like, are you guys the models here? And we're like, no, we're just trying to interview, And we were amongst ABC, NBC, Red Eye, like all the big news stations out here. I'll just put it like that. We were the only local television show, and we aired on channel 19 and 25 here in the city. We were the only local television show that got to interview Queen Latifah. No one else. And that was because we came prepared. If you are gonna just come looking like you rolled out of bed, it's almost a little bit disrespectful to people, and it's like, why should I give you the interview? Why? Why do you deserve that? So tips that I have, I'm breaking into the industry. Like I was telling you, I made mistakes. When I first started and I thought, okay, I want to interview this person. Do you know how I did that? I went to MySpace and I emailed them and I thought, why aren't they responding? I'm hitting them up on MySpace. That is not how you go through. You have to find the proper channels and the proper protocol. I suggest anyone, if you are trying to get into like interviewing celebrities and things of that nature, blog. Blogging is now the new thing. Like, even if you're not skilled on interviewing, let's say you're really good with cars, or you're really good with doing hair, or you're really good with doing makeup, blog about it, because oh my God, I've seen some bloggers, they start at just writing and a lot of people see them and have gotten opportunities to do so many things.